Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion, and you are all amazing. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It is Wednesday. What? We're already halfway through September. That's crazy. Over halfway, but you know what I mean. Time is just going zoom. Hope you're doing well on this fantastic Wednesday. I see a TBD. I see a Zada Saber. Hi. We're going to jump right into it where we left off. We've been working on the financial management tracker project, doing some redesign of the landing page and UI and stuff. What? It's Monday 8. Every work day, I'm like, is it over yet? Monday 8. Monday. I don't know what that means. Oh. Oh, and also, I need to click on this and check for this. And more rollies. And oh dear, resources. Okay. Every day feels like I've got a full week of work ahead of me. I never get to Friday, is what TBD says. And thank you, Dukasoft, for that. We got a shout out for TBD Gamer. He streams .NET development, doing some really cool project stuff. Project management application, project planning application. Anyway, something that is along the lines of Jira and Azure DevOps and whatever other project management application you may have used, but this one is more developer focused. It separates concerns so that planning stays with planning and actual development work and stuff that makes sense to developers stays with the developers, and that's all they have to deal with. They don't get bogged down with all of these other non-development related things, which sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes as he continues working on it. Streams Monday through Friday. Next week he won't be streaming Monday through Thursday, but he will be streaming on Friday, and he will have a community day. So yeah, I wonder if I keep it up, if in 5 years time people will be like, it's like liquids. Oh dear. Start turning it into an idiom. Sure, when Liquid Sky is completed. Community Day. So yeah, he streams at 7 a.m. Eastern time, which is currently UTC -4, until I think November is when I found out that fallback happens in the US. All right. Fun thing happened this morning though. When I came to my routine, I like to say my routine for some reason. I honestly don't know why. I think I just get a hit of, man, I've been sticking with this routine for a long time. But after my morning exercise on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, I do all of the rest of my morning routine, and then I come to my desk. So I start off my morning on the couch and in front of the TV over there, and that's where I do my work from 4:30 until about 7:30. And then when I come back from exercise and morning stuff, I'm at my desk. And this morning I got a little distracted because I was like, I want to know if I can get this guitar to make noise through the same setup that I had my bass guitar hooked up through. And I'm like, the amp should be fine because the amp, I'm only using it to amplify the signal from the guitar to the computer. So I go from bass guitar to amplifier to headphone out to computer mic in. And that was working for the bass guitar, and it sounded great and lovely. So I plugged in the, it's a, I don't know if I said what kind of guitar. It's a Rock Band 3 real tone, not real tone, but you know, the Rock Band 3 guitar, pro guitar. And that's the only electric guitar that I have. And when I plugged it in and then turned on the amp, I don't know whether it was my headphones, thankfully I didn't have them on, or if it was just the amp itself, but it made a really, really high-pitched noise. I turned it off immediately, unplugged the patch cable, and then tried turning the amp back on, and no light. It's dead. I killed it. So, sad times. That's my morning story. And then I still haven't been able to use the real tone guitar cable, which has its own USB preamp type thing on it, to get it to make noise correctly. So that's also sad. I'm gonna keep crying now. Okay, moving on though. As I keep crying, we are really close to being done with this footer. On Monday, I said that what we're going to work on today is getting the logo to appear correctly. We have two arrangements for the logo. One where the text is on the right, and that's on wide to ultra wide. And then one where the text is underneath, and that's from narrow and mobile and down. So we're going to get that updated right now. And I think that I am doing that using logo component. Come down here, please. And where is the logo.razor? Urge, aka Captain Commerce, thank you so much for the resub. 15 months in a row. Cheers to you two. I hope you're having a great week, great month, that things are getting less stressful for you. Oh man. Okay, I need to add, you know what? You know what I never thought of doing until just now? Using the additional attributes for custom parameters. Like, it doesn't make sense for the logo, but I have an icon component where the icon is defined by .razor files. And I can add whatever I want to these .razor files. So let's say that for an icon, I wanted to have two orientations, a vertical and a horizontal layout. And I define that in the icon itself. So when I use the icon, which would make this a base class instead, when I use the icon, then I can specify an attribute without needing to make it a parameter. And then I just have my parameter capture unmatched values, blah, 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 true, dictionary of string, nullable object. And then I could just extract the key value pair essentially from all of those custom attributes and have like an orientation that that icon is specifically looking for. But as I'm thinking about it, that's just like, you would need to know that you can use that with that specific icon. Ah. Okay, so it's a bad idea. But you could still do that. Things are less stressful, but way more busy. Here to lurk for a bit before I hop on the exercise machine. Well, definitely welcome. Thank you so much for the lurking energy, and I hope your exercise goes well. I really enjoy the time that I get to spend doing that as well. And I shared a video with TBD from Kurzgesagt that is talking about the usefulness of exercise as far as weight gain / loss. And it's not very useful for that. It's useful for many, many other things, but not for weight. So, cannot recommend to exercise if your goal is weight. But if it is for all of the other benefits, all of the millions and hundreds of millions of other benefits that you get from exercise, and yeah, just don't expect to lose weight by doing exercise. It wasn't. It was just to him, but I can pull it up real quick. If you haven't heard of Kurzgesagt, I don't know how to pronounce it very well. They are a science informational YouTube channel that they do research, they put out information, they simplify things and put it into an entertaining package, or presentation, I guess. But it's still very valid information. Yeah, the mirror factor. So if you want to gain muscle mass or tone muscles in a very specific way, if you want to get the dopamine boost, the hormone release, the euphoria, all of those things, the immune system boost, all of that. You get so many benefits from doing exercise. But there's this, I'm not going to spoiler the video if you do want to watch it, but they go into why. Absolutely. And it's only a 13-minute video, and if you play it on times 1.5 or 2, then it's even less of your time. TBD says, I failed to do a karate class last night. I was so hungry that I ate food. Oh, from controlling my food intake. Yeah, and so you're working with less calories, and your body's like, hey, I need more calories in order to maintain the way that I have been maintaining myself. So you need to eat. Brain receptors tell this man he needs to eat, even though you don't. It's got pictures and burbs. It's got many burbs. You too can be a burb. What kind of karate? I did Shotokan when I was a young lad. It's a Kempo-based form mixed in with some MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. I did Taekwondo. Although I do think that we did karate after we moved from the place where we were doing Taekwondo because there was no Taekwondo class. Hello, C Films. I'm doing fantastic. It sounds like a few of the other people are doing fantastic, just busy, having a very busy time. How are you doing? Oh, you said you're doing great. I will never promise to do anything when I get in shape because I'm not going to get in shape. I'm not going to get to the point where I feel like I am where I want to be. Okay. Enough of my blabber. We can still talk about whatever you feel like talking about. I will continue conversations surrounding that. But the thing I would really like to do is update the logo. Oh, it's way up here. I did have it open. So that we can use the new logo that we were given by the designer some weeks ago. Images, AR logo. And it's going to be the AR logo vertical for vertical orientation. Yeah, why does this look so different than their design? Like, look at the size of the text relative to the size of the logo compared to what is on the design, where the text, the 2 lines of text is pretty close to the same height as the logo itself. Man. Oh, it's not the vertical one either. It's the SVG, or the PNG. It's the SVG that we want. Are we going to be able to change the font size at all without messing up the image? Are the, yeah, so the letters are paths, so that doesn't help. And I really like the way that the developer broke it down as far as giving them the IDs. Like, we can tell that this is the A, this is the U, T, O, M, A, T, E, D. I think maybe we're just going to have to go with the logo by itself. So the raw logo, and then add the text ourselves. Which, isn't that what we're already doing? Oops, I think I pinned it. Hello, Dukasoft. TBD says, having done it for a few years now, I would love to do more puriform. And C-Film said, I'm doing great. And TBD says, maybe when I get in shape. Round is a shape. Oh, I'm in some kind of shape, says Dukasoft. C-Film says, have you heard of the Code and Coffee organization? I have not. Heard of the Code and Coffee organization, other than, you know, my own company. It looks like it is a meetup platform, kind of seems like. And that would have been why I really haven't heard of it. Interesting. Shame, none near me. Although on the New York meetup, I love Dev Curious Aspiring or Professional Developer. Dev Curious, is that the new name for a hobbyist? Probably. What language are you? Dev Curious. I assume like Cars and Coffee, but with code. I don't even know what Cars and Coffee is, but I'm assuming it's similar to Coffee and Code. Code and Coffee. But yes, socializing required. We know how big you are on that. I mean, I do it with you guys. I'm big on it. As long as I am able to control everything. What? That's what he did. Okay. So now that I'm looking at this, the designer, we're the developer right now, the designer gave us the text as an SVG so that we can style the text size relative to the icon individually. Thank you so much, developer. You are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to take this SVG, head on over to logo, and say we already have the logo no text. We're going to add a parameter to logo that says show text parameter public bool show text. I don't know, default it to true. I don't want to default it to true, do I? And then if show text, then we'll have another SVG. Fill is going to be current color. And let's get this expanded. Hello, Napalm. As I sit here waiting on my Azure RBAC permissions to apply. What's up? Well, hi, Napalm. I keep doing that. Yeah. So I have the other thing I guess I forgot to mention with the whole bass amp debacle is that I have a bass effects pedal that I got while I was performing a million years ago, and I was using that to get true stereo for my headphones so that it'll turn my mono bass patch cord into stereo. And I step on the pedals quite a bit. It rhymes with shabacle. Balloons. But yeah, I watched a quick video and looked at this thing on Reddit of all places, and it kind of looks like it is these 2 or 3. It's one of these. Wait, where is the side that dude was looking at? This side. It's one of these 4 that most likely had reverse polarity go through it when I plugged in. And what I think it was is that guitar has an active amp, and I haven't even checked the batteries on it, but it looked like the batteries were okay. But what I think happened was they added current or amps or whatever it is that would make one of these pop, as well as the resistor, which is where's the resistor? The main fuse is what I mean. So if power is most likely on this side, I don't even know if this is what the inside of mine looks like, or if I'm going to be brave enough to open it up and see if replacing the fuse would work. The fuse for the one in the video was like around here. Like here's the power, came in this way. Oh, it's here, most likely. It would go here. Yeah, it even says so right there. Fuse, 1.5 amps. So I'm going to see if the fuse is blown. If so, I'd start with trying to replace that. If not, then it's most likely one of these, and I'd have to learn how to solder. I don't even have flux. How am I supposed to solder? I have a soldering gun and maybe some solder, but no flux. And hello, Delastia. Okay, everything's all good. So we have the text now for if we are telling this thing that we want the text to show. Oops, then we should see it now, actually. It should have applied. Oh, it will have had applied. Of course you can. Please do. I won't guarantee that I'll put all of my attention into answering it, but I'll do my best to at least respond to it and maybe point you in the right direction. But Fridays are definitely the days where we spend more time, more detail on answering questions. But definitely feel free to here because we have more than just me. We have some really smart people that are good. So are you looking for whether or not to squash merge or squash commit and then merge? Or are you like, how are you using the word merge in this context? Because merge means something specific for, what's it called? Source control. Merge is when you take a branch and you move it into the next stage. So whatever your process, whatever your branching strategy is, you take your branch and then you merge it into the staging branch, the dev branch, or directly into main, depending on how your branching strategy goes, versus squashing your commits. So the answer to merge commits in the first scenario is yes. Merge them all into, like, you have one branch that has all your commits for that feature. You merge that feature branch into, again, whatever your next step is. Dev, maybe, if you're using Git flow. So let's look at this, and I'm sure it's going to look similar to yours if it's just a main branch and a feature branch. Does your Git commit history branch look like Guitar Hero? No. Okay. Which one of you is main? Main is here. That's weird. So here's my merge to main, and I branched main for this task 52 revamp. Is that what I'm even looking at? Yeah, task 52 revamp layout. And so all of these are in a separate branch, which I would have assumed, or actually starting here. So I would have assumed that all of these commits would be on a this thing, like this, until they get merged into main. So anyway, all of these commits are part of the one feature. They will get merged into main when I am done with this feature. And Napalm says, can I also say I despise Terraform? Sorry, I'm having a day. TBD says, what's wrong with Terraform? But what a lot of people are hazarding against in this context is, let's say that I'm done with the feature. What some people do is squash and then merge to main. And that one I don't recommend myself. Right. So, once you merge a branch, typically that branch gets deleted unless you know you have extra work to do on it and you're doing an intermediary pull request so that you can show the thing. But usually you're done with your feature when you're done with it. And you merge that, delete the source branch. Then if you have additional changes to make, you create a new branch off of your updated main. You don't typically go back to your old branch and say, I forgot a thing, or we found this bug. because it's its own effort at that point, in my opinion. And good luck, TBD. Hello, 8 bits per play. You guys haven't caught an 8 bits per play stream yet, you definitely are missing out. There's some really cool stuff going on his stream. 8 bits per play. I saw you went live yesterday. Shout out. The grief. And by the time that I got to your stream to lurk, you weren't live. It was weird. But anyway, did that actually answer your question? You take, even if you are reusing the same branch to do one more push. So let's say that I had a merge right here, and then I have more stuff to work on. So I merge to main, and then after that I pull main into this branch just to make sure that it's all synced up. So I'm on this branch, main is updated, right click on main, merge into current branch, everything is up to date, should be no changes. Yeah, exactly. And then you make your change, commit, push, new PR. Okay, so was it at the make your change in the branch? Yeah, you make your change, you pull main, but you merge it into your branch. So like the reason that I take that extra step, so let's say I were, let's start there. Let's say I were to do a PR right now and merge up to this commit into main. Then I would switch over to main after I approve the PR, everything builds, everything is fine. I switch to main. Do I have pending changes? Okay, so imagine that I just committed that, I did a PR, merged into main. My next step is go to main. Well, I guess the thing that would have happened first was I pull main into my branch and then do a PR and then merge, whatever. Go to main, pull latest main. And the reason I do this part is because I'm assuming that at some point in the future, you could potentially be working on a team. So you probably want to develop the habit of getting latest main before doing any additional work on a branch derived from main or just a brand new branch in general. So pull latest main. And you said that you would be reusing the same branch. Again, I would recommend creating a new branch for any post fixes. So you switch to the branch that you are going to be working off of, right click on main while that branch is active. And this is again in Visual Studio. Okay, so yeah, if you just create a new branch off of main, then you don't have to do this step. But if you were going to reuse the same feature branch to do the update, then you switch to that branch and then merge main into that branch so that that branch is up to date and in sync with main. In case someone else made changes that they merged into main in the future, like if you're doing this solo right now, you will most likely know that no other changes were committed to main, were merged to main. But it's still good habit, good practice, so that you get used to that. And then when you are working on a team, then you have latest main with all changes. But yeah, if you're just doing a new branch off of main, so new branch, and I don't know, this might be a bug if it's work that caused an issue that was identified, or it could be a task if it was something that still needed to be done, or it could still be part of the feature. I don't know. But you have your thing that you're doing, you make your branch, make your change, commit. So this is the step where you do the make the change and commit in that new branch, and then it would be a new PR again after that. I don't want that. Boy. Cool. Hopefully I'll get on the team. So yeah, so definitely good practice to always pull main into whatever it is that you're doing. Like when you finished your feature, did you pull from main? And again, pull from main from Visual Studio is pretty easy. In the Git Changes UI, be in the branch that you want to pull main into, right click on main and merge into current branch. And it'll tell you if there are merge conflicts. It'll tell you how many changes are going to be applied. If there's none, you're up to date. You're good. You don't need to continue. If there are some, then you'll pull those changes into your branch, make sure your stuff still works, and then do a PR. That middle step is something that people forget. And that's highly possible, but someone else could have merged between the time you're getting ready to do your PR. Yeah, anyway, it's just something to keep in mind, something that'll keep you honest. Yeah, that's what I was still alluding to. You could be solo currently. With a project manager or a, yeah, something else. I don't know. I'm currently solo dev as well, and I still go through the same process with any of my changes. And like, there was a time when I left the company that I'm now working for directly, and I was trying to tell someone else how to manage the code base and giving them this process. And they're just like, why are you doing all of these extra steps? And then they made a mistake and committed directly to main and threw a whole bunch of stuff off. And I'm like, if you just created a branch and did that work and then tested everything first, then you wouldn't have run into this situation. That now requires me to spend more time on it. Anyway. Oh, yeah, feel free to ask more questions. That's as far as I'm going to go with that for now. We are up here somewhere. Oh, right. Logo is now closed because I switched to a branch that didn't have logo. Great. You're quite welcome. And of course, you know that you also have our Discord as a resource. If you do have any further questions, you can always ask there and not be treated like a waste of time like happens on too many other places. Not going to name names. Okay, I'm not actually using this, I don't think. Although we may as well, since I added it, let's go ahead and use it. Attributes equals attributes. So if you additional attributes, if you specify additional attributes on the logo component when you're using it, it will get used here. I'm not exactly sure why. Oh, yes. And this has an issue because it's treating style as if I don't have any rules inside of it. And so it's like you need to have a rule : value. But even doing this doesn't fix that squiggly anymore. And the thing is that my styles are being built as a string property right here, which does have the property : value. Cool. Oh, and you were saying it's just me with how to say a boss, I guess. So I have till the end of the month to finish this app, I guess all the tasks. If I don't, I will have to look for a new job. Oh no. And then I'll ask further in Discord, leaving Twitch open. Well, thank you so much for that. And thank you for the follow, anonymous follower, that I can see your name, but I won't shout out your name unless you want me to. And what happened to all of my Blazor syntax? I seem to have broken that because changing branches does that sometimes. So we're going to close the project, which also closed the PowerShell. Okay, good. Thank goodness. Reopen the project. On Blazor syntax. Thank you. Syntax highlighting. I mean, you know what I meant. So here we are. This is the main SVG for the logo. I'm pretty sure. Aha. So I do have the text with the logo. So now it's a matter of getting rid of this. Let me see if I have any rules for this. Oh dear. Come on. I know I cut something to my clipboard. That makes you anxious and it makes you want to not do anything else for like 20 seconds. Everything's going to be okay. I'm here with you. You do not have to show yourself at all. I'll do everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I do have a graphics group rule, which I want isolation isolate. No, there I go again. That is going to be right. So I don't think I need this group. That's just one too many containers. Class 1 is just giving me the fill current color. Wait, why don't these have IDs? Huh? Enhancing life text. Oh, probably because I/UI designer got lazy and it took me forever just to set these IDs up that I didn't go through and rename these. But it should be easier. Enhancing. Yeah, I'm not gonna know. How many letters? ENHANCINGLIFE. CHROUGHAUTOMATION. Okay, so it's the whole phrase. Denied. Oh no, I want an underscore. Maybe I should have made these underscores so that I can just push dash and not have to worry about holding the shift key. Now I could just push dash. Dash it. Oh, come on. No, and now I have to push dash escape. I don't want to have to push escape every time. Oh, so lazy. Oops. Oh dear. No, I'm one letter off. What did I mess up? NGLIFETHROUGHAUTOM. Oh, where's the N? That can't be good. Right here. Nope. Nope. I'm off by a letter somewhere. Doesn't matter. Everything's fine. Everything is going to be fine. Right? It's all going to be fine. Dang it. Ooh, this should work. Perfect. Except for you. Go back to the beginning. You always take me back to beginnings. Play the record twice for you. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. Unless it's here. Just didn't get put on a new line. Nope. I don't know what happened to it, but it's okay. We'll see what it looks like. Let's get the app restarted. There is no such thing as, oh, right, because we're already in that folder. Then we'll have to style the logo again with the two styles that we can have, which is the horizontal layout and the vertical layout. And then we'll also have the an option to toggle the size of the logo text. That's not the app. Does anyone know where I put my, oh, there it is. No, it's gone. Hello? Logo? Logo wrapper. Here's the logo. Here's SVG1 with only definitions. What happened to the content of the logo? And where's the text? So supposedly we are printing out the text. And the text should be current color because that's what we have in the styles. Class 1 fill current color. All of these. Oh. Yeah. What if we made your color pink? Nada. Oh my gosh. Let's get rid of this style. Yeah, I really did delete all of the logo. Why would I do that? Definitions, graphic group. All I wanted to delete was the text group, not everything else. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Okay, so that's deleted. A U T O M A T I. Oh wait. E N H A N C I N G L I F E T H R O U G H A U T O M A T I O N. What? I'm gonna do this one first. Turn these into dashes. Turn these into dashes. We're gonna do this one more time. We'll leave the class definition because I don't think that broke anything. ID. See. Underscores, right? Life through automation. Maybe I just had an extra letter in there when I typed it last time or something. I'm gonna go with user error. Do I still have to push escape? I do. It's okay. I need to work on the distance between my thumb and pinky for piano playing reasons. Hey, it lined up this time. Right, so I'm gonna go all the way down through U, control right, put the cursor here, dash, good to go. We're done, fixed. Now where's my logo? There you are. Where's my text? Text is here. Color pink. Interesting. Why? Hawaii. Color. Phil is trying to take linear gradient because class 1 is defined above. Okay. All right. More spam. Spam, spam, spam. Thank you, other bot, for your assistance with the spam. Okay, so the thing that's happening is up here in these defs, class 1, or it's here. Class 1 is being set here, which we don't want. So 1, those should be renamed to something that is more appropriate to what they are for. 2, it doesn't look like they're even being used. I mean, other than the text, which I just added. Okay, so let's actually get rid of this rule, like so. Ellipse might be used. So let's keep ellipse. And then add class 1, which is going to be text color, or text path. Is going to get fill current color. I'm going to update all of these class 1s to text path. Get rid of the style here. Okay, cool. So we saw it show up at the right color for a second, and then it went back to not being the right color. Why come? Why do we suppose that happened? Oh, and then another thing that I wanted to get rid of, which I got rid of before but need to do again, is this. No, you won't. You'll do amazing. You will do amazing. Delastia says, bruh, I'll get so fired. Think you're going to do great. Grand, fantastic, wonderful, marvelous. Unsub. Save. Okay. You're allowed to be a slow learner. It may just be that you need to be honest with them and tell them that you are still in the process of learning, and so you need more time. See what they say. Whoever they is. I need the ID as well. Text wrapper. Text. What do I call you? You're a wrapper. You are the logo itself. And this is the just text. I don't know what else to call you. I'm just calling you text. Okay. And then everything else that gets an ID will also need the ID prefix on it. That way, when I do selectors, I make sure that I am selecting the right think. Or if we set up automated UI testing and we're, for whatever reason, testing the logo, like make sure that the orientation is correct and that the right styles are applied and everything is showing up the way it's supposed to. Like, I guess the test I would do for the UI here is when we render this with the parameters set for text, show text to false, that there is no SVG ID text. Ugh, that's going to... It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Basta. Now the hard part is getting to the end. It should be easy for these. It's really annoying because now I'm adding an underscope. Quotation mark, close parent. Those are all fine now. Except for you. You didn't cooperate. And these down here. So you need a close quotation. And all of these need the same thing. Almost there, and I will look up a chat in a second. Underscore takes us to the beginning of the first dash, end of the first dash, beginning of the second dash, end of the second dash, and the line. Quotation mark, close parent. And that's what happened here. Clean it up. Thank you. Okay, back to chat. TBD's back. I escaped. Delastia says, you're lucky. TBD says, wasted time repeating the same things over and over. What is meetings? That should have been an email. For 100, Alex. I'm looking on this like earning for living. Yeah, definitely. And you will be able to. You do... in most cases, in order to make a living out, make a career out of software development, you do need to build up some skills first, and that comes from having the experience. But typically, it's hard to get that initial experience unless you are doing it on your own time and pursuing as many projects, personal projects, and things that you don't get paid for a really long time, or however long it takes you to get comfortable with it, and then finally get a job doing software development and find out that everything that you learned on your own doesn't really apply to a real workplace. And you're just kind of like, what am I doing this for? And then you do it anyway. Sounds like you're a little overwhelmed. You okay there? And some more context to your question in Discord. The question overall was dealing with committing a feature branch to main. And Delastia, I strongly recommend just asking your question in the code help channel or non-code help if it's specifically for Git. Trying to get someone's attention immediately doesn't usually result in having anyone help you. But if you do ask your question, then someone will typically be able to answer when they find time to. But Yeah, so TBD, Delastia was asking earlier about when I do a commit, or when I create a feature branch, do I merge all of the commits from that branch into main when I needed to make an update to that feature branch after the merge? Yeah, it was hard for me to follow a little bit, but even my own explanation of it. But in short, the response that I gave was, if you've already merged that branch to main, typically you would start a new branch for any changes that need to be made. You don't typically edit a merged branch. You can, but you would still do it as a new PR in the long run. Nom, nom. Oh, was it because I didn't save this? Oh dear. Something's broken. Cannot set class text path on an element. Must be a typo that I did somewhere with all of this multi-edit stuff. Why are you shorter than everyone else? That's fine. You are closed. Okay, do you have a specific place? Line number, column number? Yeah, it's one of these oh. One of you is missing a equal sign. You there. You there. I see you. Okay, now let's refresh. Hello, Scott. And Scott's like, it's right there. It's telling you right there. Thank you. And it's still telling me that it's there. Do I need a rebuild? Shouldn't need a rebuild. Do I have another one? Class quotation mark. I don't know. Health. I don't. So I'm just gonna restart the app. Oi, mate. Says God to TBD. After TBD had said hello. All right, Delastia says, I had to merge my commits into one. Merge all commits into one. It's a feature, so my branch is now 5 commits ahead of main. So when you, yeah, the terminology we're trying to understand that I think is tripping us up is you're saying that you're trying to merge the commits into one. Into one what? So if you have already done all of your features in its own branch, then all of your commits belong to that branch. They are in that branch. So the thing that you're merging is the branch that you're working on into main using a pull request. If you made all of your changes on main and you were doing local commits without pushing, then you will be able to turn that into a branch as well. But it sounds like you said that you created a branch, you made all these changes, all of the commits are in that branch. And so now you're merging that branch with all of its commits into main by using the pull request. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Okay, color. Why isn't color applying still? Because I need the classes for color to apply. Fill, gradient, shadow, class petal top right, and those are getting filled based off of the gradients. Oh. And this is text path, which I told it that text path is going to get fill current color, and I think we are seeing that when we inspect it. If we look at an individual path, then we have, I don't see it. Class text path is supposed to be getting fill current color. Where did that go? Yeah, if it was fill current color, then we would see them, but it's not fill current color currently, colorly. So why are you Baroque? My selector is text dash path. Please. It is not nested inside of anything else. It's just anything that is a text dash path will get a fill current color. This SVG is this one right here. What am I missing? Each of these paths have TEXT-PATH. TEXT-PATH. Recompile? Oh. It needed to recompile my CSS, my SAS, for whatever reason. Oh man, that was annoying. Okay, so now we can change the color of this. Let's do that using parameters, similar to how we do the shadow color. So parameter, parameter. That's what you get for using fancy technologies, says the one who uses all the fancy technology. Text color. Get that, and we're actually going to let this be nullable, not required. And we'll let it be current color by default. And so if, why don't you have a semicolon? All of you should have semicolons. What are you doing? Why is the semicolon outside of the interpolated string? That was weird. Don't do that. Oh my gosh. All right, come on, Copilot. Do the rest for me. Thank you. So lazy. And yes, I did verify that it's doing the right thing, and it's not doing the right thing. Color. What I'm trying to do. And we don't need a space before, but I'm gonna leave it there. I'll leave it there. Why not? Let's do it as a CSS variable. My what have I been calling these? I don't have a name for these. O1L text color. Marcus says, Copilot doesn't seem to have any sense of what goes where. It just seems to mimic. Yeah. And I'm fine with that because I try to write things very patternistically. Oil. It's one line. If you couldn't tell. So I'm prefixing all of my custom CSS properties. Now when I go to the Sass, then this is my color, which is actually going to now be prefixed with oil use color. I don't know why I keep saying oil. I'm just making fun of myself. That's all. Same here. The 1L, use color, suit color, and then these two are going to be 1L color. This way, if I do define a custom property somewhere else, then I'll have to have the same prefix in order for it to have any kind of conflicts. It won't have any kind of conflicts. What did I just call this one? Oil use text color. And you are going to be current color by default. Then when we get down here to text path, color bar oil use text color. Did that break anything? It says compile successful. Our colors still look the same. Nothing looks to be broke yet. Size. Size is currently default, so that one would have been broke. Oh, actually no, size is defined right here. So why do I even have this? Oil. Use size. Hello, President Not Sure, and thank you so much for the follow, anonymous follower who I can see your name, but I won't say your name unless you want me to. President Not Sure is here, said, not terribly intelligent, is it? So much for the I and AI. Napalm said, we have a guy leaving the company, did all the team foundation, is that what TF is in this case? Stuff, as you can imagine, fun will now ensue for the rest of us. So the person that's leaving managed your Team Foundation server or Team Fortress, for those of you that remember those days. Terraform. Overloaded terms everywhere. So anyway, the Terraform stuff. The person that used to do all of your Terraform stuff is leaving the company. That does not sound like fun stuff, especially if you haven't previously learned Terraform. Hello, Mr. Paddington. My evening hasn't started yet. I'm in Colorado, so it is still just before noon, but I'm sure my evening is going to go fantastically. Day has been going really good, except for deciding to try to do something with my guitar amp earlier and probably blowing a fuse. And yeah, I'm gonna be focused on doing work and not trying to do more music stuff until tomorrow. Oh dear. But yes, hope you are well. Napalm says, bane of my existence. Celia says, artificial idiocy is my favorite term for it. Appa. President Not Sure says, I'm sure they didn't write anything down. Yeah, seriously, did they leave you any documentation for the processes that they do? Because documentation, even if you're not fully leaving a company, you might come back. I strongly recommend just putting together a wiki or something easy that, I mean, this isn't easy. This is me brain dumping, so that if someone else did take over this position, that they would have how to get started, how to manage all of the applications, what the settings are, where on the servers to find stuff, and blah, 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 blah. So strongly recommend doing that anyway. And hello, Amalama. Amalama? Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. He tried. It helps. Cool. Yeah. Writing documentation will also benefit yourself. Just saying. Okay, let's get back to this layout. So by default, when we have the text on the logo, we're going to get the vertical layout. And so we need a way to style the vertical layout for one, and for two, oh no, in the vertical layout, oh dear. Oh, thank goodness. I was going to say, oh wait, no. That's not you. Is the text left aligned? It's really hard to tell. Thankfully, they're about the same width, so I don't have to worry about trying to adjust for text alignment. Ooh, that was scary. So I keep covering it up to keep that showing so that we can do some styling. We need a layout for our wrapper. So that is going to be a parameter. Oh, I wasn't done with this. I interrupted myself. This is going to be var o1l use, not use size, o1l size. And if that's not defined, then default to one rem. Should I do one rem? Should I do one m? You're most likely going to be using the logo in the base part, but I would say use whatever the nearest parent's defined font size is by default. And then you're going to be oil size. Sometimes it's saying Twitter, and on the other one you have X. Oh, sometimes it's saying Twitter. In the designs, you're seeing. Okay, so in the designs, the designer, which was us, decided to put the name Twitter. We, as the developer, made the decision that in the implementation, we're going to call it X. So the differences that you see are that this one is our implementation of the design that we were given. And we are consistently using X to refer to that social media application. All right. Twix. Nice. Yes. We should just call it Twix from now on. Oh, I want chocolate. Stop it. You stop it. Oh, gosh, now I can't think of anything but chocolate. What were we doing? We were verifying that the logo, when we create the style, we are using O1L prefix. All right, good. Good. The other thing that we need, as I mentioned, was the orientation parameter, public bool orientation, and that is going to be either horizontal or vertical. And so it's not going to be a bool. The way that the logo is defined in Figma, the main component, is that it is a nope. Still need to get to the logo. That's still not the logo. Oh my gosh, just give me the flippin' logo. Wait, I didn't make the logo into an actual component. I could have sworn I did. I'm going to swear. Wait, no, I'm not. I found it. Okay. So the way that the logo is defined in Figma is that it has variants with a property called text position. That text position is going to either be text below or no text. There is a third option that didn't get designed, so may as well make it. A third option is going to be text right. Oops. And so in order to do this, we take the container. Why are you an image? Why is this an image and not an SVG? Anyway, there would be another one where it's text right. So if I were to do that in the implementation, what we would do is create an enum for the text position. I think I'm going to do that. Let's do that. Hidden below right, and that's it. So now we can combine show text with orientation by doing text position, text position, and we'll default it to text position dot below, to below. All right, TBD. TBD says, I can't avoid this next meeting. I'm running it. Dang it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for the stream. See you next time. See you, TBD. Remember, TBD streams Monday through Friday. 7 a.m. Eastern time. Text position is not text position dot hidden. Then we show the text. Okay, so that shouldn't have changed the way that it currently looks because we defaulted it to look the way that it looks and stuff. So helpful. Okay. So let's style this with text position bottom. We're going to apply a style to the main wrapper, which is here in my car. Nothing seems. Here. If text position is not is. Let's do is. Text position dot hidden, then null. Otherwise, we will do O1L text position. Oh, that's not how I want to do this. I want to apply it as a class, don't I? I want to apply this as a class. So let's do this instead. Give me this. My class is going to be logo wrapper, the rule that I just wrote, and close quotation mark, close parent. So the class that we want to add if text position is not hidden is text dash, and then the enum value. Text position to string to lower, because we don't want capital class names. And since we control this, this is one of those situations where I could be setting myself up for harder maintenance in the future. Duso says, I'm popping in to thank you for the advice. Applied to 2 places and already received a callback and introductory meeting. Holy cow, that is awesome. I do hope that you get a job that allows you to have a better situation, and that even if you don't, that you're still able to apply some of the practices to help alleviate some of the stress. And Marcus said, every time I try to stream it, it just skips frames all the time. I noticed that. I see you go live, I go to your stream, and then suddenly you're not streaming. I'm like, but I wanted to lurk. I wanted to feed off of your energy. Yeah, and Zulius responded in Discord. That's cool. Thank you, Zulius. Ooh, an Emporium guy just started his stream, so I'm going to start lurking. An Emporium guy stream. And if he's still streaming by the end of our stream, that's who we will most likely go raid. Cool. So where are we? We just applied the class. We should see it now to the logo wrapper. Logo wrapper. Did I save? I did save. Do you need a rebuild? You do need a rebuild. Son of a piece of bacon. While we're waiting for the rebuild, we know that we're going to have to... Oh, this is where I might be giving myself some future maintenance issues. We have an enum that we're using to define the possible locations of the text, right? So this text position. If, for whatever reason, I decide to change the enum value, not the value, the enum member, the name of the enum member, it will change the .toString .toLower value that will show up here in the class name. So what I really should do is probably a switch expression. Switch, and we are going to. Text position dot. Can I not do a switch expression in line? I should be able to do a switch expression, right? Right? We'll see. I'm going to finish it out then. Below will give us below and text. Oh, and then let's just do the default case. Anything else will give us right. Cool. I think it's going to be fine. We did this in 1 line of code. It's a little difficult to read, but you can most likely see what it's doing. Where if, and actually that means that I don't need this initial thing. If we have wait. Oh. I was trying to make it easier on myself. Gotta sneeze. Excuse me, I forgot to mute. Okay. text position text po, right? Then default. Uh-oh. No more sneezing. Thank you. Thank you, Marcus. Oh, if I sneeze too many times, I get really, really dizzy. I don't want to be dizzy right now. Okay, so what I ended up doing is changing the inline if, so we don't have a an inline if checking to see if we are hidden. Instead, we are only using the switch expression on text position. And if it is below, then we are using class text dash below. If it is to the right, we are using class text dash right. If it is anything else, we are not printing out a class name at all. And the reason that I deleted the space before the interpolation, the interpolated string, is because I don't like seeing spaces in my class names. Unless there are multiple classes, in which case the space goes between each class name and not at the end. Ugh, what I could have done instead is this whole thing and then .trim at the end. But this is the way that I typically do it, so I decided to stick to it. I'm so dizzy now. Oh, man. And you're supposed to be use color to use O1L color 2. Right? Oh. Give me a second, I'll be back. Mentally. I'm still gonna stand here. Yeah. O1L use color 2. Okay, so there is an issue with one of the somethings. Refresh. Is it still an issue or did we fix it? Still an issue, and it's because there is a parentheses that doesn't belong. Right here. Refresh. And then we have failed to load hot reload. Probably because it's still rebuilding. Yeah, it was probably in the middle of rebuild. And there we go. We are good to go. But now the the color 2 is actually applying for the shadow. So let's change color 2, since it's only being used for the shadow, to O1L shadow color. Then we're going to tell this thing to not be defined. So we will allow a null, not default it, so that when it's not specified, then we get the shadow gradient. Okay. O1L color 2, shadow color. Good. So I don't know why it's still giving us this white shadow. Is it because the shadow gradient is not actually specified? Man, it feels like I'm jumping around all over the place now. So if anyone is, like, I don't expect you guys to be fully following along, just like looking up every now and then and maybe seeing something to respond to. But yeah, it is defined. But I also don't like to just jump around code in a non-organized way. Read shadow. Is it because var doesn't work? Because there is no use O1L shadow color. That's why. There is only O1L shadow color. And actually, it's still called color 2 here. Aha! Fixed. There we go. Ooh. Amazing. All right. So we're good. So now we are in the process of applying the correct styling based off of the text position. And here we have a class that is being applied called text below. So we'll hop back into the isolated CSS for this. And you are shadow color. Actually, I don't like that anymore. Yeah, color 2 doesn't exist. Okay, so here's our text path. Let's put this close to it. And we'll say that, oh, never mind, it goes up here. Logo wrapper and dot text below will be display flex, flex direction column, align item center, not right. It would be justify content. No, it is align items, dag nabbit. We want it to be horizontally centered. And that should move the logo over to the middle or not, or it won't do anything at all. Why not? Why not? Why not? Display flex, flex direction column, align item center. Yeah, it is doing what it's supposed to do. But the SVG, oh, the box for the SVG icon only. Right, we need to get the icon only. I don't want to remake that. What do? We find the furthest right path so that we can make the view box stop at the far right. What do I mean by that? I don't even know. In our SVG, the text used to be a part of the SVG for the overall logo because it was both the logo plus the text underneath, which meant that the view box, which if you think about it in game development terms, it's the camera. So what you can actually see in your scene based off of the camera. It doesn't matter how wide or narrow your contents go. The only thing that matters is the shadow. The shadows left and right should be our view box. Whether the contents, the coordinates for the stops, not the stops, the path, are inside of that view box or not. And you can always grow and shrink your view box at runtime even to do cool animations and stuff. I'm not good at that. I can barely even read this path. But what we're looking for is the furthest right. X coordinate of the path. So I'm going to play around a little bit. Right now it looks like 138 is the furthest right starting point. The problem is that when it goes down, yeah, like what, how do you even read this? C2.04.6. I don't know how to read that. When it goes down, it goes left and then it draws an arc. It tells it to be curved, I guess, by this amount, maybe. I don't know. So I think that that point is this top point. And then it tells it to, like if you had a pen tool, it tells it how far out in front of and behind to do the thing, right? Shrugs. But I'm going to try 140 just to see what happens. What happens if we do a view box at 140? I'm hoping it's X and then Y. X should be here. Right? Okay, so that wasn't correct. 150. 60. This is the scientific way of doing this. Okay. Okay. That looks fairly centered. It doesn't look like there's any clipping going on with the shadow, nor the edges. If I gave the SVG itself a border, actually I'll do it here in the browser. So the SVG itself gets a border, 1 pix, solid. Very nice. I think that is actually lined up the way that I want it to be. Cool. Very good. Now we just need it to be the right size. So right now O1L's size is 13. And we want it to be 6 looks good. Oh, but that's also affecting the text because I told the text to be 1M size. So, good, good. We're getting there. Excuse me. Logo. Logo. Logo wrapper. Logo wrapper, we still want the same size, but the icon SVG. So we need to give this thing a class. We want this. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I need to put it on here. Can I do it as a style? The style is going to be width is calc var use O1L size times, and we want it to be a relative size between this being 1M and this being 6 out of 13. Let's do 0.5. Oops. I know. It doesn't like that. Okay. Element reference capture, probably during a refresh. Not a real error. Nope. Man. Unexpected frame type during remove old frame. That sounds like a specific to the way that it renders through the WebAssembly. So I'm going to try a restart. Hopefully this works and it's not because of this style attribute that I put on the SVG. Yeah, it looks like it's the actual reference to the logo itself. On. Stabilize. We're good. Didn't apply anything, but we're good. Do you have a style attribute? You do have a style attribute. The width is use O1L size. And that's not applying because it's O1L use size. I can read. And thank you so much for the follow. Again, I have anonymous follows on, so I will not shout out your name unless you want me to. But I really, really, really appreciate it. Glad you're here, even if you're just going to be lurking. Do the thing. Do magic. It didn't do magic. Rebuild. Of course. Of course. A horse is a horse. Of course. Of course. That is, unless a horse can talk. Yes. Yes. Okay. So back to our styling. We can get this done. We only have a couple minutes, but when text is below, we are going to do a gap of, what does it look like? A full font size? Where is the design? Does anyone know where I put the design? Designs. Okay. This looks much smaller. Okay, so let's change this to 0.4. Are you rebuilding again? Oh my gosh. It's a style attribute change. Good. I like that. Now, let's make the gap 1. Yeah, we should do it relative to the size of the logo. Does that look like it's too much? And now I'm seeing a clip. Agnabbit? Why are you suddenly clipping? And not only is it clipping, but we're also getting anti-aliasing issues. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to leave it as is, because I do want to get this last one done. What is the syntax for the thing that I'm thinking of? The thing I'm thinking of is that we want a selector for class starts with text dash, and we want all of those to be display flex and all of them to have a gap. Then when it is text right, it's going to stay flex direction row, which is the default, so we don't need to specify that. We'll have align items flex end so that they are both aligned to the bottom. And what else? What's the other thing I'm looking for? Thinking. They already have the gap. The text SVG. Which is, it doesn't have a class name on it. Text graphic. The text graphic, and thank you so much for the follow. Another one. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Even if you're just going to be lurking, really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. The text graphic, we want to give a padding, not a padding, a margin bottom, so that we're essentially offsetting it. Actually, you know what? I would prefer that. I would prefer to transform, translate. Oh my gosh, I can't type suddenly. Translate y minus, again, I want a relative amount, not a fixed set of pixels. So we'll do minus 0.2 ems. And we're going to update the usage. And this is the wrong selector because we can see that the rules stop getting applied. So maybe it's star. It is. Okay, so the star equals is begins with. And I'm assuming that the caret equals is ends with or contains. I think it might be contains. But that's fine. We can look it up, but not needed because the only thing we needed was the star equals. But we want to see what it looks like when it is horizontal. So let's go to index.eraser and change your footer and change your icon orientation to text position is what I said, to text position dot right. Did I do that backwards? No, it was still rebuilding. A little higher and not as big of a gap. So let's finish styling that, and this will be the last thing we do for today. So your gap is actually going to be less. So let's do about point. What does it look like on the design? Rushing. Actually, does that look like about the same distance? Maybe. We just need it to be higher. So let's keep the text transform going up. So yeah, you can go back up. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Go minus height. minus, let's just do one whole font size. Cool. And is that about where it is in the design? The E in enhancing is about a third of the way up, overlapping with the shadow. So just a little bit further down. 0.6. 0.8. Cool. Okay, so this is what we're going to need to transform it to on whiter screens. I still haven't, like, I knew that this was going to come up. It was in the back of my head that we would need to be able to tackle how to tell it to change the text position when you're doing responsive styling, when the text position is driven by the a parameter, and the parameter is not driven by the viewport width or anything like that. So I can't update the parameter. I can apply a different class. And now that I have, now that I have introduced the additional attributes, I can override class as long as I keep logo wrapper. But I wouldn't need to apply class. I would need to override the text below rule to be the same rule as text right. That's what it is. So in my responsive behavior on larger screens, the logo wrapper, and text below in larger screens, the rule is going to look just like this, and then flex direction row or unset. But we're going to have to do that in the next video. So for now, let's do a quick commit. I don't know why I was looking down there. Forget. Styled, footer, logo, and mobile layout. Commit and push. This is going to be on GitHub, so you'll have the latest copy in the branch of task/52 revamp layout. You can check it out yourself if you feel like it. But that's gonna be it for my day. That is the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I am going to get back to work now and not mess with the amp that I busted or anything like that. But I really appreciate you being here. I will be back. I will be back again on Friday Day, and we'll have a community day where we will just hang out, have questions, talk about technology topics and stuff. I'm going to type /raid Emporium guy with one hand, and I typed Emporium instead of Emporium. So we're going to raid over to Emporium guy, I think. Yes, that is the right one. He is a .NET developer. He's working in Blazor right now, trying to create an API, and we're going to just hang out with him. I'm glad that we're raiding Emporium guy because BitGamey just went on a break, but I'll be lurking on his stream as well. Also remember that Irish John Games is on partner push, so if you can show up early to his stream, it starts in about 30 minutes, a little under 30 minutes, to help support him get that partner goal that he's aiming for. That would be awesome. As for our stream, you can check out any VOD on YouTube. At some point after the stream, I will post it. And always welcome to join our Discord. No requirement to, especially if you're already a part of way too many Discords. If you just want to hop into the server to ask a question, get your answer, and then leave the server, that is absolutely fair. You're allowed to do that too. So whatever works for you. We're here for you. Okay, ciao for now.